Hey, I'm Jennifer Whitaker. I'm an empowerment strategist, a trauma specialist, an archetypal and shadow worker, an energy worker, a profiler. I do a lot of things in my day job, and I'm not here to talk about any of that. I'm here to share with you a personal practice that I've had my whole life. And every time I've deviated from it, I've felt really lost, and I always return to it. And that practice is living in harmony with the cycles of the moon and the phases of the moon and how the moon influences the cycles of nature. And it's based on the Old Farmer's Almanac. And in my tradition, the Old Farmer's Almanac takes out any esoteric language and mysticism around the moon and really connects it with nature, which makes so much sense to me. So, to me, this is a way to demystify the moon and make it accessible to anybody. And so, I hope that you'll get something out of this. And I wanted to talk today about May's new moon. So, let's talk first a little bit about new moons in general. So a new moon is the beginning of the lunar cycle every month, hence the term new moon. And new moon just simply means that the sun and the moon are in conjunction with each other on the same side of the earth. Conjunction means they're closest together in the sky. So let me show you. I have my little stress ball, which coincidentally, I've had this thing for a long time, just happens to look like the earth. So we have the earth here, you have the moon here, and the sun here. So conjunction means the moon and the sun are closest together in the sky on the same side of the earth. That's all that means when it says conjunction. Now, what does that mean for us on Earth? From our perspective on Earth, the moon is going to look dark. And sometimes it's so dark that it doesn't look like there's a moon at all in the sky, even though it's still there. Um, so, from our perspective, the moon is dark, it's shadowed. However, from our Earthling perspective, the side of the moon that we never see, that we Earthlings call the dark side of the moon, is fully illuminated. So, what that tells us is what's in our subconscious or our unconscious, we can shed light on that and we can see some of our patterns if we choose to look. So, let me tell you how you can use the Farmer's Almanac on where to look and what to highlight each month. So this month, the new moon in May is going to happen on Tuesday, May 11th. I'm in the Eastern time zone in the Northern Hemisphere. So for me, it's going to happen about 3 p.m. Central time, it's going to be about 2 p.m. Mountain time, about 1 p.m. Pacific time, about noon, and so on and so forth around the planet. Because moon events happen simultaneously, it's really important that you look up in your time zone the exact date and time, because for some people, it's going to happen in the wee hours on Wednesday, not on Tuesday. So let me go on and talk a little bit more about the moon. The new moon in May is in the zodiac sign of Taurus. And you can look this up again on the Farmer's Almanac, and you will see that each zodiac sign influences a particular part of the body. And when that zodiac sign converges with either the new moon or the full moon, it's a really powerful time to explore that body part and issues with that body part. So Taurus influences the neck, the throat, the vocal cords, and the thyroid. So this is a great time to explore your voice and to explore any issues that you might have in this part of the body. Um, if you have thyroid issues, it's a great time to look at lifestyle changes, because if you have issues that have been going on long enough that it affects your endocrine system, that's going to take some lifestyle changes and some discipline to implement those lifestyle changes. Otherwise, you might end up taking medication to keep your thyroid balanced rather than being able to rely on yourself and your own body to stay in homeostasis with it. Um, and look at recurring throat issues. I know when my son was a little boy, he used to get strep throat every year. And for me, an example with me is I, for decades, oh my gosh, probably 25, 30 years, I could guarantee like clockwork every winter I would get sick and I would end up with laryngitis that would take my voice out for 2 weeks, easily 2 weeks, sometimes longer. And I was probably in my mid 30s, mid to late 30s, when I really started to get to the bottom of what was going on, that I was losing my voice every year and I wasn't speaking up. I would stay quiet and I would let people do things that hurt me. And I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't speak up for myself. And once I started speaking up for myself and using my voice to establish clearer boundaries, um, then my laryngitis started to go away. And I haven't had laryngitis in over 10, actually close to 15 years at this point. So it's been quite a while. Um, and I really believe this works, to use the moon as your guidance on what you work on each month. So that, again, that's why I wanted to share it with you. This is a great time to look at musculoskeletal issues, like literally get to the bottom of what's the pain in my neck about. And it can be a time for self-reflection. So if you do self-reflection or journaling, this is a time to ask yourself questions like, where do I have difficulty expressing my thoughts? Where am I timid or shy? That's all going to come through in your voice, or maybe that timidity or shyness is going to keep you from speaking altogether. Where am I insecure? Where am I experiencing social anxieties? Again, that's going to come through the voice. Is there dishonesty or insensitivity? Because that's going to come through your voice as well. It's going to come through your words. Having difficulty making sound decisions is going to show up in the throat and in the voice. It might be that for your moon rituals this month, because it's so focused on the throat and the neck and the thyroid, that you might want to incorporate singing or chanting or intonations into your voice. It's a great time, if you're a journaler at your moon rituals, to read your journals out loud. So whatever you do with that journal, sometimes people just write and then they put the journal back on the shelf until the next ritual. Sometimes people would do a fire ritual where they burn what they've written. Whatever it is, before you finish that ritual, this is a great opportunity to read whatever you've written out loud and hear yourself and hear your own words speaking whatever came out of your subconscious or that self-exploration. This is a great time to bring in crystals that can affect the throat chakra if you get into using crystals. And some of them that come to mind off the top of my head are aquamarine, lapis lazuli, sodalite, turquoise, amazonite. Those are all great crystals that you could use. And I'm sure that you have other ideas because it's not limited to those. Those are just off the top of my head. So I really hope this gives you some ideas on how you can create a moon ritual and how you can look to the Farmer's Almanac to see the moon is in what zodiac sign right now. And if I'm doing a ritual, what body part does that influence and how could I incorporate that into my ritual? So I really hope that one of these ideas resonated with you to the point where you're like, oh yeah, that's me. I do have this recurring throat issue every year. Maybe I should explore that. Or I love to sing and chant. I'm going to incorporate that into my rituals. Whatever it is to explore, where are you not using your voice? Where are you using it too much or talking without thought? So all great self-reflection questions. And I hope this gives you some ideas. If you don't have a moon ritual, to get started with a moon ritual, or if you already have moon rituals, maybe to change it up a little bit. Because if you already have rituals, if you're like me, you start to feel sometimes that your rituals go stagnant. So sometimes other ideas can really get that creative juice flowing on, oh yeah, this is a great idea. I'm going to give this a go and see how it works. So I hope this landed for you. And if you're interested in learning more, please reach out to me. We have a conversation on Clubhouse that aligns with each lunar event each month. So 2 a month, one for the full moon, one for the new moon. This particular new moon in May, our conversation on Clubhouse is going to be at 7 p.m. on Sunday, May 9th. There's a link below in the comments. Please follow the link and join us. You can follow me, again, look below. You can follow me, you can follow Anna Pereira, you can follow the Feeling Good Club. Any of those ways will help you find the room on Clubhouse. If you need an invite, send me a message, and if I have an extra invite laying around, I'll send you one. And please comment below. If you got any value out of this, comment below. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss May's full moon conversation, which is going to happen in a couple months, or a couple weeks, not a couple months, a couple weeks. So I'll see you back in a couple weeks, and have a fantastic day and enjoy your May new moon ritual.